I saw it happen, literally. Hey, and I wanted to do this thing, and I've been thinking about this thing for so long. And the next thing, you guys, nothing prepared me for it. Nothing, it wasn't planned. The things you need, you don't want. The things you want, you don't necessarily need. You enter my DM at this specific moment with this kind of questions. Nah. Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa Oni, aka Ifeoluwa the YouTuber, aka Abba's Abode. I'm getting it better. I'm more relaxed in today's video. Alright, so if you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel. Alright, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for stopping by. You won't regret it. Yeah. And to my returning subscribers and loyal gang, you feel me? Nah. Thank you guys for always staying true. Thank you guys for always coming back again. I don't take it for granted, you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some of the lessons I learned during the break. Yeah, if you don't know, I was off YouTube for a while, quite a long while. So I'm going to be talking about some of the lessons I learned during the break, before the break, just, yeah, all the lessons. It's going to be very interesting, yet very enlightening. So, or very enlightening, yet very interesting, whichever way. So don't leave, keep watching. And yes, please, I'll need you guys to leave comments in the comment section. Please engage my video, ask questions, answer questions, give your opinion about stuff. I would also like you to give this video a thumbs up, you guys. That's what YouTube recognizes as, oh, people who watch this video liked it, so let's, you know, share it to other people as well. And subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. Please join this family, join this big family here. Thank you. And without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's jump right in. Let's jump right in. Alright, so this first lesson, I was hinting kinda in the previous video, but I said I was going to leave it for this video. And the first thing is, doing life without your source will run you dry. Alright, so I remember I attended Relationship and Life School, and this was like the first video we watched, and it just resonated. Like, after that time, I just began to see the reasons why some things in my life were just like, anyhow. I don't know. The thing is, I mentioned that I became very busy, like close to the end of the school or close to the beginning, and there were so many things I needed to structure in my life because it felt like my life was not my own. It felt like I didn't have a balance of my life, and so I was beginning to miss studying my Bible. I was beginning to miss a lot of things as regards my spiritual life, and it became very difficult for me. Like, it seemed like I was carrying the burden of the whole world. That's how difficult it was for me. It was very difficult. And then one day I went home. Most times I would like talk to people, oh, this is what I'm going through, this is how I feel. And then at that point I didn't really know what the issue was. It just felt like things were just anyhow. So I talk to people that, oh, I don't like how I'm this, that. And then they would say, oh, do this, that, try to do this. I would do it, but it might relieve me a bit, but then after a while again it would be like, psh. So that day I went home. I went like home Gordon for a wedding, and the day I got home, I don't even know, I didn't eat or anything. I just got home, laid my bed. Oh, my bed was laid. My mom already laid my bed. Shout out to you, mommy. So I just dropped my bag, stayed on the bed. I didn't have time because I had to go for the bridal shower that evening. So I just got to the bed, stayed there, and the next thing, you guys, nothing prepared me for it. Nothing, it wasn't planned. I started shedding tears. Like, serious one, like, it was bad. Like, I was crying and I was wondering what's going on. Like, I was seriously crying, and at the point I picked up my journal. And I started writing things. Like, it was like I was pouring out everything that was inside of me. I was pointing to God, because before I picked up my journal, as I was crying, I started talking to God and just started ranting and talking about everything I was feeling. And then I just picked out my journal, and then decided to write it out instead. So, like, it was like, this was what I needed. to become myself or to be better. Like, I cried so much and I talked so much to God. I really wanted to have that all night to myself, but like I said, I had a bridal shower to attend to, and it was already almost time. When I cried, I wrote down, I talked to God, and I was very relieved. And after that time, I went for the bridal shower. I came back the next day was the wedding. So in the evening of the wedding, I'm like, okay, I was supposed to come back to Ife 2 days after. But I'm like, nah, like I was supposed to come back the Monday morning. But I was like, no, I needed time to myself. So I spent Tuesday and Wednesday with me and my God. Basically, I listened to messages, I prayed, I cried, I did everything. And I just felt very good. I felt very better. And that was when I knew that, this is what I've been missing all along. The message I listened to was Personal Revival by Apostle Joshua Selman, just talking about a broken heart, a contrite spirit. You can go listen to it. Very living life without your source will run you dry. You just feel like things are not going as planned. Things are not going the way they should. If you can relate, please leave it in the comment section. I don't want to spend too much on this point, but yeah, basically living life without your source will run you dry. So no matter how busy your life is, or no matter how busy your day or anything is, still try as much as possible. That's very important. Try as much as possible to do it every day. My mentor, Pastor Damlari, will say, anything that will make you leave God out of it, or anything that will make you forget God or forget your spiritual life, is something you should run away from. So as much as possible, put your spiritual life as priority. It is number one priority. Please like this video, leave a comment, share with your friends when you are done watching. But please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. I need the engagement. Now let's get back into the video. So alright, okay, the next thing is, this one is more like a testimony. That it's more like something that, I've been hearing, or I know, but if you had asked me to like point a certain experience, I might not have been able to. So they say God comes through last minute. Like, God can literally come through last minute for you. I saw it happen literally. Is that what I was saying? But I saw it happen in my life. So during that, before I went home, I needed to rent a place. Like I said, this is a new place. I needed to rent a place. I also needed to attend a wedding where I was the chief bridesmaid, and I needed to get clothes, get everything sorted out. I needed to also rent a house because my landlord was already threatening to chase us out. So at that time, like I said, I've been working. So I had like an amount of money that I could use for my rent, but I also needed money for the wedding. The wedding was that weekend, and the options were we move out of the rent money and pay for the wedding and have incomplete rent, pay for the rent and slide the wedding. But I really could not slide the wedding because it was a weekend to the wedding. So I could not slide the wedding because I wouldn't like it if my chief bridesmaid does that to me the week to my wedding. So the only option was to move out of my rent. And I'm like, if I move out of my rent, I won't have enough money to pay for rent. I won't have enough money to pay for rent, and my landlord is threatening to change. Like, I literally have to move out of the house the next day or the next 2 days. So what do? That day I was talking to a friend. I was talking to Blessing. Shout out to her. We were just talking about it. At the point I was already crying. I was chatting at the point I was already crying. I hear God. And she's like, don't worry, God come through and stuff like that. And I was crying, and then the next thing I'm on WhatsApp and I see a message. I don't know if she want me to mention her name, but for now, let me just keep her name anonymous. Maybe on WhatsApp I'll drop her name. And I see a message from her. She graduated from my fellowship like 2 years before, 3 years back. I see a message from her, and she's like, how are you? What's going on? How is family? How is life? How is business? How is everything? Like, they were very detailed, and I'm like, immediately, I'm like, God, is this you? God, is this? Because we don't really talk, and most of the times when we're talking, is that we're replying to status or something, but you enter my DM at this specific moment with this kind of questions. Nah, can only be God. And immediately I said, God, this tears started dropping, and I'm like, I explained everything. Like, you guys, I poured my mind out. I was going to say, I'm fine, but then I remembered that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. I watched a video recently. I'm diverting. I watched a video recently, and I think it was from Anora, And they're like, when you're praying about something, praying about God come true, God come true. And then somebody asks you, oh, how are you? What do you need? And then you say, oh, nothing, I'm fine. God is trying to show up, but you are rejecting the hands of God. I mean, God will not come down to do it for you. He will only send men. He will send a man. He will send, when I mean a man and woman. Do you get? So I opened my mouth and I told her, and she was like, God actually dropped my name in her mind while she was praying, and she knew she had to chat me off, and I was like, oh my God. And guys, she sent me the exact money I needed for the wedding. The tears in my eyes. That day I journaled again, like I'm just like, God came through last minute. That day, that was when I went to the market and I got everything I needed for the wedding. And my tea too was included. Just like, God comes through, you guys. God comes through for his own. So the lesson here, there are actually a number of lessons. If you are God's own, it will come true. That's one lesson I learned. If you are God's own, it will come true for you. Even if it's last minute, it will come true. If you are really genuine. Number 2 is open your mouth. When you have prayed, trust God that is going to answer. And now that you are trusting God, know that God is not going to come down himself to answer you. He will send men to you. And so when men come, be sensitive to know that this is God sending men to me. And then open up. Don't close your mouth and then keep saying God did not answer my prayers. So that's another lesson. So this next lesson, I learned it from a message that my pastor preached, Pastor Ifeoluwa. And that was the fact that he said the things you actually need in this life are the things that you don't want. I didn't plan it. It wasn't in my book. But like the things you need in this life are the things you don't want. What do I mean? They are mostly the opposite of what your body, what your flesh actually wants. So most times we want pizza, we want ice cream, we want all those things. But they are not helpful to our body. I mean, we're the ones that will say, oh, I'm getting fat. What do you need to reduce, or what do you need to maintain your body? Is exercise. Exercise is not sweet. It's not sweet. It's something you have to do, or it's something you need to do to get what you want. I don't even know what I'm saying. But basically, ice cream, all those things are things we want, but not things we need. The things we need are actually vegetables, all this healthy food. But we don't want them. We want this. And these are the ones that are helpful to our body. These are the ones that are healthy. But these are the things that we just want. Our body wants it. And so, same thing with spiritual exercises, same thing with spirituals. The things we actually need to grow ourselves, the things we need for our spiritual lives, our prayer life, Bible study, evangelism, working out your salvation with fear and trembling. Those things are the things our flesh do not want. Our flesh does not want, basically. But our body actually needs. We actually need those things. But our flesh does not want them. So basically, I learned that. So, yeah, that was another point. Or that is another thing I learned. The things you need, you don't want. The things you want, you don't necessarily. So another thing I've learned recently is, if you have an idea, if God puts an idea in you, do something about it. Put it out. See, the more you think about that idea, the longer it will take for you to put it out. And then you will now realize that somebody else now does that same thing that you actually had in mind. You now be like, hey, and I wanted to do this thing, and I've been thinking about this thing for so long. It's because you have stalled for so long. And the reason why God has given you that idea, or the reason why God has put that thing in you, is so that it's because somebody actually needs it. And if you are stalling on doing that thing, or you are delaying, God actually knows that his children need it, and that's why he's giving it to you. You give it to somebody else that will not delay, somebody else that will actually put that thing out. So I've learned that thing because it has happened to me times without number, or sometimes. Once you get an idea, put it out. If God is telling you to do something, do it. And I was listening to a message from my pastor. Sunday's message, actually. I attended church. I listened to my pastor, my celebration church Ile-Ife pastor, and then I decided to also listen to my senior pastor, that's Pastor Emmanuel, the same topic. And he was saying something that my Pastor Shola also mentioned it, that most times the leading of God is not as spiritual as we think it should be, or maybe because it's not spectacular, we think it is not spiritual. When in actual fact, the way God leads are things that seem natural to you. Because the Spirit of God is in you and is now one with your spirit. And so when you have an inward witness on what to do, those are the word of God is number one. Your inward witness is another thing. The Holy Spirit telling you something to do. It might seem natural because it seems like it's coming from inside of you. And then we're expecting, oh, the fire, or oh, you see a vision, or you have a big encounter. Nah. Those things, when God is actually speaking, it seems more natural than supernatural or than spiritual. So it takes the place of sensitivity. It takes for us to be sensitive to actually understand that God is speaking to me. So you have to be very sensitive to know that yes, God is actually putting this idea in me for me to put out. Somebody out there needs it. Which brings me to the series that I'm going to be putting out. So I think I'm just going to be stopping at this point. I'm going to be bringing out a series. I'll talk about it in my next video, and then after that video, we'll have episode 1 of that series. This idea has been put in my heart for so long, and I don't want to feel good, so I'm going to be doing it. So yeah, when God puts an idea in you, or when God gives you an idea, or when you see that you're very passionate about something, God is telling you something. Don't stop. Do it. Do it. Plan. Work on it. Okay, how can I bring this idea to fulfillment? Do this. Don't overthink. What if people don't watch? What if people don't listen? Or what if people don't pay for it? Put plans into place and take action. Take action. So please, if you resonated with anything, put it down. If there are some things you don't necessarily agree with, also let me know in the comment section. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section. Just let's talk in the comment section. Yeah. Like I said, I still have a lot more in my notes, but I have to end the video now because it's becoming too long. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave comments in the comment section, subscribe if you are yet to, share with your friends. And yeah, with that, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.